Microsoft so unloved that when the CEO says he's going to retire, the stock goes up. Well, now it's being talked about spinning out the Xbox part of the company. This is $7 billion of their business, their fourth largest business, but does it make sense to spin it out? Joining me is technology editor Chris Ciaccia. So Chris, as I mentioned, fourth largest business, $7 billion. However, that $7 billion is down from $8 billion in 2011. Another $8 billion in 2010. The business is going down, but they have a new console coming out.
Yeah, there was an article in Bloomberg the other day that suggested that you could see a potential spin out of Xbox, especially as the Xbox One comes to launch later this year. I don't think that it's likely, especially if Microsoft goes with an insider as its next CEO, but it is an interesting concept. Hardware companies generally have lower multiples, but it would unlock some value away from Microsoft, potentially getting full value for Xbox and making Microsoft and its remaining businesses have a higher valuation because software generally has a higher multiple than hardware does.
Yeah, they do have a very small window here, in my opinion, if they did do this IPO, because they've already fumbled this launch of the Xbox. They have already had to backtrack on some of the items that they said they were going to keep with the console. PlayStation from Sony is also coming out. It is $100 cheaper, and there's no tie-in with this internet. So from what I'm hearing, teens and kids are gravitating to PlayStation and away from Xbox. That could hurt them.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen Microsoft have a bunch of snafus when they announced the Xbox One. They initially wanted it to be instant connectivity and always on. They backtracked from that. They backtracked from not being able to play used games and older games for the 360 as well as the older Xbox. They backtracked from that. They've made a bunch of marketing snafus. They've had a really come back, and they've lost ground in terms of buzz and marketing to the PlayStation 4. I would think that if they do decide to spin out Xbox, that it would be something tied with more marketing buzz, positive marketing buzz for the Xbox One console.
Right. They could spin them out when the console's being launched. There's lots of talk, lots of people buying them, racking up sales and things like that. But I think that once the hoopla dies down, they lose their opportunity to get the most out of such a spinoff.
Yeah, there really is a small window here, especially if Xbox One sales don't go as well as planned. It's an expensive console, like you said, so you could see a little bit of a blowback. The economy is not doing as well as people thought. We just saw second quarter GDP come out a little higher than expected, but a lot of recent economic numbers have been lower than what people were expecting. So I don't think that consumer spending this year, this holiday season, is going to be really high. So a $500 Xbox One versus a $400 PlayStation 4, people are probably going to go for the cheaper console for their kids.
All right, well, there you have it. It's an interesting idea for Microsoft to spin off the Xbox. Chris and I decided if they do, they've got a very small window, and we will keep you up to date on anything happening over at Microsoft. That's Chris Ciaccia, and I'm Deborah Borchardt with The Street.